What's up, you guys? Thanks so much for tuning in today's video. KSquad, I hope you guys enjoyed your holiday. If you celebrate, and if you don't, I hope you enjoyed the day off and peace and quiet or whatever. Yeah, it's the end of the year, guys, so I wanted to come on here and share with you guys my yearly beauty best of wrap up. I will also be doing a worst of beauty video, and I just have some other things planned in the works for you guys. But this one will be strictly just best of beauty 2021. As I was going through my products, I kind of realized that even though I feel like I purchased a lot of things, like there's not really that many products that overtook older products in my collection. So I'm gonna make that clear in here. You may see some repeats from a previous best of, the best of beauty 2020 video, because I feel like the makeup of last year was just so bomb. 2021 has some gems too as I look around my table. I'm not gonna front. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into my best of beauty for 2021. I'm going to share my products in order of application. So we're going to start off with some primer. For primer this year, one of my go-tos was this Milani SPF BFF SPF 30 primer. Knowing that I have that added protection of sunscreen in this, it doesn't leave a white cast. It feels really lightweight on the skin, but it's also hydrating, like a lotion texture. This is almost done yet. I had to squeeze to show you guys, but as you can see, it's like a nice lotiony texture, but when you rub it into your skin, it doesn't leave a white cast. It absorbs right in, but you know that your skin is prepped for your foundation because it just offers a nice barrier in between your skincare and then you applying the makeup on top. So this definitely was a go-to primer for me. I did use it in conjunction with my Tatcha primer. This is what I would use just in the areas where I feel like I need to fill in my pores. This definitely did carry me over from 2020. Might have carried me over from 2019 now that I think about it. I can't remember, but I just have a mini product and it seems like I'm just about to hit pan on it now. So being that I only use it like in my T-zone area where the pores are, I don't have to use but so much of the product. And actually I do recommend that you don't use a lot of this product because that's when it will start to pill. If you just use a little bit, press it into your pores, it just offers a nice smooth canvas for your makeup application. So this combination here has definitely been my go-to for priming. An honorable mention is the Fenty Hydrating Soft Silk Pro Filter Hydrating Primer. This is also another nice lotiony consistency. As a person with dry skin, you guys know I'm always looking for that kind of hydration. So this was a nice one. I'm happy I got a mini of it, and I used a bit of it, not too much, but why it looks liquidy now? It looks weird, so I guess I'm just gonna have to shake it up. This is something that I purchased this year, so definitely shouldn't have gone bad. It says the shelf life is 12 months, so I'll be using this again. But yeah, this is just a nice lotiony texture and another primer that just smooths out the skin, adds the hydration, and offers a nice base for your makeup application. Now if I want to go in and offer like a nice glow on my face, I would either use my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Skin Prep situation. I use this, it's a highlighting balm from Merit Beauty. I was fortunate to try out a bunch of products from Merit Beauty, and this is definitely one of my favorites. This is the highlighting balm in the shade Bounce. I swatched it right there so you guys can see it. It's like a nice champagne, almost rose gold kind of shade of this highlighting balm. And what I would do is take my beauty blender, I would apply this to my beauty blender and tap it in to those areas where I want to highlight, and it gives that nice lit from within kind of look. I really enjoyed this balm. Again, this is the Merit Beauty Highlighting Balm in Bounce, and I really enjoyed this product this year. Usually I will let my primer and everything sit on my skin and absorb into my skin, form that barrier. So while that's absorbing, I would go into my brow product. So for brow products, I have 3 products that I want to talk about. 2 are from the same company, so let's talk about those first. Charlotte Tilbury released some brow products. I think this was actually like a re-release, but she released the Brow Cheat Micro Precision Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Black Brown. Like any traditional brow pencil, you have your spoolie on one side and then you have your pencil on the other. And when I tell you this pencil is like everything, it is kind of rough, I will say, but that's what makes for the staying power, if you ask me. Like when you draw these brows on, they're not going anywhere. It has a nice skinny tip, which is what I prefer to draw those hair-like strokes. But what's not typical for brow products is that this is actually a refillable pencil. The refill is only about $15, so you don't really have to continuously buy the mechanism that's going to hold the refill. You can buy this pencil once and then you can refill it, which I really enjoyed. Another thing that I enjoyed about this pencil, it seemed to be the only pencil that would go over that Anastasia brow freeze. Throughout the year, I went back and forth whether I like that ABH brow freeze. It's not featured in my favorites, so that'll tell you something. I can't say it's like the worst of beauty. It just may end up in my worst of beauty now that I think about it, because it was just too finicky. But when it came to using the brow freeze with this pencil, I never had any issues. It went over it. And I think the roughness that I was telling you guys about with this pencil, I think it actually benefited with that brow freeze, because, you know, that's like a, I don't want to say waxy, it's just like really emollient. It makes your brows really emollient. So this goes over that brow freeze perfectly. I try not to use this so much. I have so many of my Benefit, my holy grail brow pencil, which is the Benefit Precisely My Brow. I talk to you guys about that all the time. 9 out of 10 times I'm using that brow pencil, but I just wanted to talk about things that I discovered this year, and this is definitely a good one, guys. In that same collection, she came out with this Legendary Brows Micro Precision Tinted Brow Gel. Guys, look at this brow gel. Oh my goodness, like that one is everything. And let's see if you can see. So there is some color to the brow gel, of course. I have mine in the shade, I think also deep dark brown. This is in the shade black brown, so they're both in the same shade. So yeah, these two together have been the perfect combination. Really happy and satisfied with the brow products that I purchased from Charlotte Tilbury this year. I actually left these out of the video that I did where I was reviewing the Sephora purchases that I made for the year, because I had purchased these in store. For some reason, when I went to the app, it wasn't showing me my in-store purchases. I did purchase these from Sephora in store, and I have no regrets. The last brow product that I want to talk about that I discovered this year is from Merit Beauty. So this is in the shade brown. I don't know the actual name of it, but I'll have everything linked and listed down below for you guys. This is in the shade brown, and it is really, really brown actually. Let's see if I can swatch it. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I swatched this on top of the Charlotte Tilbury brow gel, and you can tell that it's like a little bit more chocolatey brown. It has a much fatter wand than the Charlotte Tilbury wand that I showed you guys. For comparison, I will show you guys again, but this one here is the Charlotte Tilbury, and then the one here is the Merit Beauty brush. I prefer to use the Merit Beauty brush when I'm going in with my Precisely My Brow, the Benefit brow pencil that I was telling you guys about, because sometimes that can be a little bit too dark for me. So to brighten it up, this brown comes in perfect, handy, and it just brushes through my brows, makes them stand up. It's a nice brow gel, very comfortable. I don't feel like my eyebrows are heavy. I don't really have an issue with my brows being removed or anything like that. This has definitely become a favorite of this year as well. I reach for it all the time. As a matter of fact, I couldn't find it. My desk was a mess the other day, and I was so upset that I couldn't find it. So we're all cleaned up now. I found it, and I've been using it ever since I tried the Merit Beauty products. So shout out to Merit Beauty, because they sent over these products. I don't know if I would have tried Merit Beauty this year if they haven't sent this stuff over, and I'm not featuring it in my best of just because they sent it over. I did receive other things throughout the year from other companies, and you know, they don't make it to favorites, not necessarily. So shout out to you guys, Merit. If I'm doing eyeshadows, I would do my eyeshadows after brows and before I do my base makeup. So let's talk about some eyeshadow palettes. So first up is the Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette. I don't know why this palette got such a bad rap. I actually have this palette on my eyes today. I used 5 of these shadows in the eye look that I have on today in conjunction with another palette that's not in my best of beauty. First of all, this palette actually made me excited for Urban Decay. It was the most excited I got for Urban Decay in a long time, and since then I haven't been excited in anything else that they released. And I love Prince, and I didn't even get that Prince collection that they did because it wasn't appealing to me. But this palette, I enjoyed it. I still do enjoy it. I wore it today, and I have no complaints about it. That teal pop of blue right there, everything. The next palette that I love for the year of 2021 is from none other than Pat McGrath Lab. This is the Venus and Floyd's Luxe Quad Voyeuristic Vixen, and I just love the fact that this was like the perfect everyday kind of palette. And who wears these kind of shades every day, right? Like, I love this matte shade here. It's like that purpley kind of brown. Like, it's so good, guys, so good. Oh yeah, this top shade here transforms to this beautiful pink orangey, you know, one of her special shades. Is just everything. And then even this shade here at the top corner, like, this to me is like a really good highlighter as well for that inner corner. And then even that bottom shade, it's more like a bronzy kind of color, but perfect for everyday wear. So this was a really nice palette. This is like the perfect glam palette. If you don't know what look to do, you can actually go in here, create your look. You have your crease color, blend that out, put one of these on top, and you're good to go. You don't need to do so much to get such a fabulous look. So that's why I absolutely love this palette. This shade, I'm telling y'all, everything. The duochrome, like when it turned, oh, everything, guys. So again, this is the Pat McGrath Voyeuristic Vixen palette. I also tried other Pat McGrath Mothership palettes. I bought the Midnight Sun palette, really enjoyed that palette. That was another go-to palette of mine. Any Pat McGrath shadows are bomb. I just wanted to give an honorable mention to this Pat McGrath. This is the Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity palette. Guys, I kind of personally still prefer last year's palette because I just love like those mauvey, pinky rose tones on here. But this palette actually gave us quite a bit of a selection of colors, and that's one thing I liked about it. And I also like the fact that this has 4 mattes instead of 3 from last year. I wore this blue shade on my birthday. Absolutely love that look. And that's the thing about this. When it comes to the matte, you can use this matte with this matte, you know, do all your crease work and your outer V work, and then you can top it off with any one of these shades and it will be bomb. Same thing with the other 2 mattes. You have this matte here and you have this one here. Do your crease work, do your outer V work, and top it off with any of the shades here. This shade did come broken, and I actually did get a replacement palette that I have brand new. This color is one of my favorites, this bronzy shade here. Oh my goodness, y'all. Y'all see that? This shade is everything. It's that blue, the green, even this copper down here. So pretty, guys. For the pinks, again, I prefer last year's palette, so I didn't really dip into those pinks like that too much. Gold tone here. Oh, this one down here too is so good. I really hope she continues to release these for the holidays because I think it's a great way to get, you know, a feel for Pat McGrath's eyeshadows without spending $125 for, like, you know, her real mega, what do you call those? The Mothership palettes. I only have 2 of those in my collection. I have the 2 that she released in this mega version, and I hope she does continue to make more of these palettes during the holiday season because I will definitely pick them up. I absolutely love this palette. And then the last palette that I fell in love with for 2021, can you guess it? It's my ABH Primrose palette, and I was surprised, guys. First of all, I just really do love Anastasia Beverly Hills. Their eyeshadow formula is so bomb to me, and this just reminded me of like old school ABH, almost like modern Renaissance kind of vibes, because you know you got those nice romantic mauvey purpley kind of shades. You got your pink over there. I absolutely love these. The only gripe that I have with this is like this section, these 3 shades, they're kind of similar to each other, so I don't feel like we had a need for all 3 of those shades. It does add a little bit of depth, but she could have did something else. But nonetheless, I absolutely love this palette. If you haven't seen the video that I did a video with 2 looks that I used this palette for. These are blushes, but you can actually use them on the eyes as well. Check out that video because some of these are not safe for the eyes to use. So check out that video if you want more information on that. But these blush shades, they actually do show up on my skin tone, so I did appreciate that. I can actually mix them and make a nice blush as well. So yeah, this was just a nice well-rounded palette. Anytime a palette makes me reach for it and think about it when I'm sitting down to actually do my makeup, that's what I would consider my favorite. And this was definitely a go-to palette for me. Now this one is a little bit out of order. I actually should have talked about this before I featured my eyeshadow palettes, but I do want to talk about one eyeshadow base that I tried this year, and it's from NARS. This is actually a sample that I got from NARS, and this is their smudge proof eyeshadow base. This is not a new product whatsoever, but this is the first time that I actually tried it, and I love it, guys. I actually want to buy a full size. Not only do I have hooded lids, I also have those like crepey lids where I have a lot of lines, so sometimes eyeshadow could like go into the lines and it just doesn't look good. So this provides a nice smooth base for my eyeshadows, and it allows my eyeshadows to go on really smooth, and it doesn't look like crepey or anything like that. So I wanted to give a shout out to this NARS eyeshadow base. Other than that, I am still using my Makeup by Mario. This is the Master Eye Prep and Set. I believe I actually got this late last year, but I did end up featuring it in my best of 2020 favorites because it's just that good, and I still continue to use it. Even when I forget to use the creams, I still go on top just like I did today. I went in with my NARS eyeshadow base, and then I set it with the powder from the Makeup by Mario palette, and then a tried and true, always my NYX glitter glue. I always use that, especially when I'm trying to make my metallics pop. I will go ahead and add this to just the lid space, not so much the crease and anything. My base will go more towards all over my eye. But when I want those metallic shades to pop, I will go ahead and put on this NYX glitter primer. For years, this has been a tried and true fave. I think this is my second tube of it, and yeah, this is just the Black Kiss Blue Lash Liner. I do have the clear one, but after about 2 to 3 uses, I just don't like the way that the tip looks. You start to see the eyeshadow and everything just dirtying up the actual applicator. So the black one does me just fine. It gives me that guide. I know exactly where I need to put my lash on. It stays, and I have no issues with this. So this is a carryover from last year as well. And this year there was 3 mascaras that I can recall that worked wonders for my eyelashes. I have little baby eyelashes, so anything that works wonders for my lashes, I think y'all need to know about it. The first one, I can't find it, but I probably got rid of it because it was a sample. But that was the Bite Beauty Upswing Mascara. Such a good mascara, really dark. The only thing was the brush was a little bit thick, but it really did do a good job at curling my lashes, adding just a little bit of length, but more importantly, the volume was there. So I really like that mascara. And then the 2 that I'm currently using right now as a mascara cocktail, you know me and my mascara mixes. I go in with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High. I remember, but earlier this year, everybody on TikTok was talking so highly about this mascara. So when I finally caught it in stock at Ulta, I definitely wanted to grab it. I just recently pulled it out towards the end of the year. I've been using it for maybe like a month or 2 now, and I really have been enjoying this mascara. This is what the wand looks like. Nice skinny wand. I like that it's a flexible wand, if you guys can see that. I like that it's nice and flexible. When you first open the tube, it is a little bit runny, but this is one of those mascaras that get better as the time goes along. So this one, the Sky High Mascara, it lengthens your lashes like nobody's business. Combs through like every single hair, and it just gives you that length, which is why I need to mix it with this mascara, which has been a favorite. I actually use this mascara by itself, but I do like it better as a combo with this one because I get the length from here. And this is the e.l.f. Big Mood Mascara. This one right here gives me hella volume. I love it. I love the dark pigmentation on this mascara. This is what that wand looks like. Nice and fat. It's a fat wand, so you do sometimes have to be a little careful with it. I feel like I don't have a lot of eye space anyway, so this can go left if you make a mess, but I've learned to maneuver it and everything. I don't make those messes anymore. And yeah, this has been my latest mascara mix. I still use the Pat McGrath Laz mascara, which I think I featured in the Best of Beauty 2020. I discovered that last year. I had another one as a backup. I love that mascara as well. But these are 2 affordable mascaras that even if you purchase both of these from whatever drugstore you find them in, it still would be less money as opposed to buying a high-end mascara. So I definitely wanted to give these a shout out. These are so bomb. They're affordable and you can't beat that. Now that we're finished with the eyes, usually from eyes, that's when I'll go start working on my base. Now with me, I told you guys most of the time if I'm going for a natural look, I will apply my concealer before my foundation. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about concealers. With this Fenty corrector, it's like really potent. You don't have to use a lot of it. Like I literally just put this 1 drop and look how much it blends out. Like when it blends and sets, it's not going anywhere. I really love it. I don't know if you can see how smooth it looks on my skin. Like it's not sinking into my lines on my skin. It just smooths underneath there so beautifully. It brightens. And being that I have a color corrector shade, of course I'm gonna go on top with a different concealer. But this, like towards the beginning of the year, this was actually like my go-to color corrector. I didn't use the Charlotte Tilbury as much anymore because I feel like with this Charlotte Tilbury, I have to apply it with my fingers, but I just feel like underneath my eyes, I have to apply so much of it and it can get heavy underneath there. So I was so happy when Fenty Beauty came out with this one. It's a nice, lightweight, thin consistency, very lightweight underneath the eyes, blends so smoothly, makes everything look really smooth and prepared for your concealer application. So this is definitely one of my favorites for the year. Another set of concealers that I used this year was the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. And I don't think I showed this concealer too much love on my channel this year, but I did pick up 2 shades. I have the shade 460 and I have the shade 400. Now guys, I told you guys I've been having hella technical difficulties, but I do have a video filmed from months ago that I had showed you guys these side by side so you can see the difference in the shades. What I will do right now is I will swatch these for you guys just so you can see the difference. So I'm actually wearing the shade 500 today on my eyes. So that one is the shade 500. And then just a little brighter, we have the shade 460. These are like a true medium coverage concealer. It's not super full coverage, it's not heavy. As a matter of fact, like the texture of these feel so like soft. That's the way to describe it. It's like soft. Again, I just blended it out and you don't see anything like sinking into line. I don't have a problem with it making underneath my eyes look old or anything. So I really did enjoy these concealers. I do like it for everyday use, so this is a go-to everyday nice concealer. But when you want to talk about coverage, guys, the ABH, I think you guys have heard me talk about this a couple of times throughout the last couple of months. Ever since I've tried these, I have been loving this Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer. Again, I have two shades. I have the shade 20 and I have the shade 21. Check out the video where I did. You can see the swatches and everything, but 21 does tend to be a brighter shade than the 20. When I went to Ulta to check out the shades of the concealer, it seemed like I could wear maybe like 4 different shades. I was looking at anything from 19, 20, 21, and 22. So again, I ended up with the shades 20 and 21. I just went right in the middle of the shades that I wanted, and these work out really good for me. Not for nothing, even if I wasn't going for an everyday basic kind of look, I would still reach for these because these are just so bomb. It covers everything that I needed to cover. I don't have to go in with the color corrector when it comes to these concealers. No, I would use the shade 20 as my color corrector and go in with 21 as a little bit to add a little bit more brightness, and this was the perfect concealer. Hands down, if I had to pick one, it would be this for the year. This, love the ABH concealer. So I was happy to see that ABH made a little bit of comeback in 2021. Also, a quick side note, after concealer, you guys know that I like to set my concealers with powders, but I did not find a new setting powder this year. Well, pretty much throughout the whole year, I've been using DJ's Boutique powder. This is her loose powder in the shade Honey. And then I've also been reaching for my Pat McGrath Labs. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfecting Blurring Under Eye Powder. Mine is in the shade Deep. This year she did come out with the yellow shade that I purchased, but I still always go back to my Deep. So nothing's new here. So let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Before I do my under eye setting powder, I told you guys I do my concealer, then I will go in with my foundation. So for foundations, I actually have 4 actually. I can't remember. This one may have been featured in last year's Best of Beauty of 2021. I think I got it towards the tail end of the year, or did I try this year? I can't remember, but nonetheless, this Fenty Beauty combination, I know for sure this came out this year. So this is the Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint, and I have mine in the shade number 20. When I tell you these two together, these make some points, y'all. So the Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint, that's exactly what it does. It blurs. It looks so good on the skin, guys. I always hated the dropper, so what I would usually do is just apply this directly on the foundation brush or the sponge that I'm using, just so I don't have to put it on my hand. But that's what the shade number 20 looks like. And guys, this just is everything. Again, you don't see no lines. It dries up, it dries so smooth, it dries down and makes your skin just look so flawless and smooth. I absolutely love this. And then if I went ahead and set it with my already favorite, the Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation, I have mine in the shade 410. I do have a little bit of hard pan hair, but you can see my FB is completely gone because I love this powder. If you don't know, I am a powder foundation kind of girl. If I can, especially going to work, like I prefer not to have to, you know, pour out liquid and stuff like this. With this drop, with the Fenty Eavesdrop, I can actually apply it directly on my face if I wanted to. But like I told you, I would normally just apply a little bit of the liquid on whatever applicator that I'm using for the day, you know, blend it out, and then I would set it with this powder foundation from Fenty. And this combination, absolutely everything. Like they did some numbers with this. I did a whole video. I'm pretty sure I did a video featuring that combination. I used it all throughout the year, even up until today. I was so happy that now that I've lost my, you know, summer color, I can go back to using this. I already told you guys I was sad that I couldn't use this during the summertime, but bringing this combination back into play, so happy. And this was definitely a love for 2021. Now, when I did have a deeper tan in the summertime, my go-to was the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Skin Finish Foundation Stick. You don't have to put in so much effort to blend this foundation stick out. It blends like a dream. Like, can y'all see that? Like, it blends like nobody's business. It doesn't look thick and cakey. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin or anything like that. You know, with the mask and everything, it does kind of transfer a little bit, but I just go in with my setting powder and I'm pretty good with that. Best foundation stick ever. If you haven't tried it, what you waiting for? Go ahead and try it, because this is so bomb. This is the only Huda Beauty base complexion product that I have ever tried, but this makes me want to try more. I actually want another shade of this because this is so bomb. And then last but not least, for foundations, this one liquid foundation did take the cake for me, and that is none other than the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. Guys, this is so pretty. First of all, packaging, everything, the fact that it's black owned, everything. LYS Beauty is one of the newer brands that's offered at Sephora. It is a black owned brand. This made by Tisha Thompson, and she is the one that is behind those 100 foundations that Pure Cosmetics. So they came out with that 100 shades of foundation. I never tried that. If it's anything like this, I see why people was raving about it though, because this foundation is everything, guys. A beautiful consistency. That one pump that I pumped would be enough for my whole face. Like, the coverage on this is so bomb. It covers all my imperfections without a problem. And in case you're wondering, mine is in the shade DG7. Really nice foundation, guys. It feels so comfortable on the skin, lightweight. I didn't have a problem as far as anything that applied on top. Everything just looked nice and smooth. It gives me like a nice radiance to my skin, like a natural radiance. It's not so, you know, emollient and dewy or anything like that. It just gives me like this beautiful natural radiance. Everything is blurred out and smooth looking, and one of my absolute favorite foundations of the year. And while we're here talking about LYS Beauty's foundation, I just want to go ahead and get these out the way. It only makes sense that LYS, they did their thing for me this year. So first up, I have their No Limits Matte Bronzer. Guys, such a beautiful bronzer. Like, it's not a flat matte. It actually gives me like a little something, and I just think the color is like perfect. This bronzer is like the perfect color for like an everyday bronze where you don't want to do too much. It's just doing just enough. And mine is in the shade Strength Dark. Also, their cream blushes, guys. These cream blushes, I also wanted more colors of this, but then I don't want too many cream products in my collection because I feel like cream will go bad quicker than like the powder products and everything. But this, y'all can't tell me this blush is not everything. As a matter of fact, I did a video when I did my collaboration video with I Am Kaya. We did all pink everything, and you know, the rose gold packaging, this beautiful pink blush. I featured a lot of the LYS products in that video, so if you want to check that out, I will link that down below. And then lastly, from LYS, I have this is a recent purchase. I think I purchased this during the Sephora sale haul, but I have been reaching for this like crazy. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing this highlighted today, but I'm wearing it in conjunction with other highlighters. But this is the LYS Beauty Aim High Pressed Highlighter Powder, and this is in the shade Genuine Rose Gold. Oh my gosh. This reminds me so much of like the Becca Becca highlighters. Look at that. Guys, this is everything. It blends so smoothly into the skin. Blends out so nicely where it's not so noticeable. And I mentioned to you guys before, like, if you continue to build this up, it doesn't look a mess. You know, sometimes highlighter, we can go too far with highlighters. I'll be the first to admit, sometimes I go a little bit too far with highlighters. Like today, I probably have on like 3 just because I was trying to get like the right shade to go with this cool tone look that I have on my eyes. I'm not really a cool tone eyeshadow kind of person. I tried. But when I tell you this highlighter, you can build and build and apply and apply. It just blends into the skin so nicely where it doesn't look like it's too much. And again, that shade is just everything. I absolutely love all of the LYS products that I've tried. Well, not all of them. I'm gonna have one featured in my Worst of Beauty of 2021. Stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be alerted when that video goes up, because I got some things to say. But for the most part, LYS did not steer me wrong this year. I really enjoyed the products that I use with them. The pigmentation, the blendability, the ease of application with this. Like, it can go left really quick. Try not to use but so much of the product, but I usually just take my brush, go here, you know, dot it where I want to actually contour, and then when I go to blend it out, it blends out like nobody's business. This is such a bomb cream bronzer. Definitely took place of my Fenty cream bronzer, which I think I mentioned in last year's favorites, but I hardly even reach for the Fenty anymore ever since I got this Danessa Myricks absolute favorite for the year. Powder bronzers was popping this year as well. So I have two black owned favorites. So first we're going to talk about the Juvia's Place bronze palettes. This is the bronzer palette. I actually bought 3 different shades of this one. So specifically I want to talk about the dark shade. This was my go-to. So I love the fact that this palette has 2 different colors. I love the fact that it also has a mirror, but I love that one is a little bit cooler and one is a little bit warmer. So you can either mix them, you can use them by itself, depending on how I feel that day. I just love the fact that I can kind of like adjust it and make that perfect bronzer that goes with whatever makeup I'm wearing for that day. So I want to give a shout out to these Juvia's Place bronzing palettes. Also, Colored Rain dropped a couple of bronzers as well, and this one is my favorite. This is the bronzer in the shade Cinnabay, and like it's so smooth that it doesn't even look like I used it, but trust and believe, I definitely did. Cinnabay is bae. Another one of those perfect everyday I can wear to work and not feel like I'm, you know, doing the most going to work. So this is like a perfect everyday kind of bronzer, similar to like the LYS. This bronzer is affordable, it's smooth, it blends so nicely, and again they have various shades. I did a video swatching the shades that I picked up of these Colored Rain bronzers if you want to check out the shades that they have available. I know they just recently dropped a new palette that I kind of got my eye on. While we're here, I'm sorry, I just wanted to go ahead and grab this brush. Let me tell you, this Colored Rain large powder brush has been everything for me this year. Ever since I purchased this brush, I've washed it so many different times. I've used it so many different times. The only reason I didn't use it today is because it's dirty, and I feel like it's that time of the month. I'm breaking out. I don't need to help with the situation, so I try not to use any dirty brushes. But this powder brush is everything. So I was really happy with the products that I picked up during that purchase. So definitely go ahead and check out that Colored Rain video if you haven't already. I swatched the bronzers for you, and I showed you me unboxing the brush set that I purchased. But out of the set, this one, the powder brush, hands down my favorite brush. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have a high-end bronzer. This was a favorite. I actually have it on today. This is the Dior Forever Natural Bronze. I have mine in the shade 08 Deep Bronze, which is the deepest shade of bronzer that they have. But guys, this feels so smooth. The smoothness on this, like I don't know if you can see the swatch underneath, but this, like, it looks a little bit lighter than the bronzer that I just showed you from Colored Rain. But the thing about this Dior bronzer is like you can build it up and it just looks so beautiful on the skin. It blends so nicely, so smooth. I've never had anything like skip or anything like that. It's so effortless. Like you can like almost not think about doing your makeup. Like I can be distracted and just do my bronzer, and I don't feel like it's gonna be like a muddy mess. This is absolute perfection. I have 2 face palettes that I want to talk about in this video, and no, it's not the Natasha Denona Glam palette, because you guys just saw that in my whole video and I still haven't yet to put it on my face as of yet. So for me, that's not in one of my favorites. I'm not that reviewer girl that's gonna, you know, I have to get everything up. No, we'll be using that shortly. But I want to talk about 2 Face from 2021, which were my go-tos. So this one here is from BH Cosmetics, and this is their Tan and Tulum palette. I think last year I may have featured a different BH Cosmetics, or maybe the year before, but there was a BH Cosmetics palette similar to this one that I absolutely love. That one had blushes and highlighters. Well, this one has bronzers and highlighters, guys. And I was not mad at these shades. I have a video on my channel featuring this palette along with the eyeshadow palette that they came out at the same time. But this bronzing highlighter palette took the cake. Like I can mix these 2 highlighters if I wanted to. I can use them separately. They are so pretty. And then the bronzers, you can customize, you can dip between different colors. You guys know, like, not every day I want to be super bronzy. Sometimes I want to look sun-kissed. Sometimes I want to look natural, just depending on the vibe that I'm going for that day. And this palette definitely offered that customization that I love. A lot of people say that, you know, as an individual, you don't necessarily need like these kind of face palettes. But me, I love them. I love to customize different things, and that's why I have 2 face palettes that I want to talk to you guys about today. And I don't even think I gave this one a lot of love on my channel this year, but just know I use this palette so many times. There may have been times that I actually told you guys in videos that I was actually wearing this palette, and this is the NARS Orgasm on the Beach palette. Like I can do without the name. The name is like whack. And I honestly, I was talking to my homegirl, and she was like, how many orgasms are they gonna do? Well, this was the one that I wanted, because let me tell you, these highlighters and these blushes are everything. Like the formula, the shades, let me tell you how I wore these out. I wore this palette out, guys. Like, it is just so pretty. And I didn't really feature it too much on this channel because if I'm not mistaken, this is like discontinued. I picked mine up from Macy's. They may still have it available. If I do find it, it'll definitely be linked down in the description box below. But if you come across it in stores or anything like that, just remember the Orgasm on the Beach palette is everything. And this was definitely a go-to favorite of mine for 2021. Ever since I got it, I think it was like maybe spring. I got it in the spring or maybe summer. But ever since I got it, this has been a go-to, like going to work, going out, going anywhere. This is a highlighter palette that I would reach for. I absolutely love this. And this was definitely a gem for 2021. Now, we cannot speak about blushes without talking about this Pat McGrath Divine Blush Collection. There's no way I can do this video without talking about these blushes. I went a little bit ham with this collection. I don't know if you saw that video, but I did swatch all 7 of them. Well, all 7 of the ones that I purchased. I think the collection had a total of 9, but there was 2 colors that I just didn't think would work for me. So I picked up 7 out of the 9 blushes. I picked up the quad that I showed you guys, the eyeshadow quad. That was a favorite. And the highlighter, which is one of the highlighters that I'm wearing on my face today. If you haven't already, check out that video where I did the one and done go-to eyeshadow look with Lush Bloom So Balm on the crease, blended all over the lid, one and done shade. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Then when it came to like that everyday kind of blush, Paradise Venus was my go-to. When I tell you I wore this to work like nobody's business, like any day where I feel like I didn't know what blush to put on Paradise Venus. Like, it does wonders. It ain't gonna make nothing look wrong. This is just like perfection for every day, especially on somebody of my skin tone. This was my go-to. And then to talk about the combination that I have on today, I would love to mix these. Like, this has been a go-to concoction for me. I would go in with this matte blush. This is Nude Venus. I would go on my cheeks with this first and then top it off with Desert Orchid. These two, that's what I have on my cheeks today, guys. This is the combination. I've worn this combination so many different times. These two mixed together, perfection, guys. And that's why she made the 2 different formulas. She made matte blushes and she also made like these blushes with a little bit of hint of shimmer just to add that dimension and beauty on the face. Absolutely love this. I was so happy for this collection. So happy she came out with blushes. I love blush, and I definitely indulged in the collection as you saw. And yeah, those are my top 4 favorites from that collection. The only highlighter, I had that LYS Beauty highlighter, but as far as highlighter, I would always go back to like the old favorites. That what was it? The Pat McGrath highlighter, the pink one, and that hockey puck looking thing. That was a favorite. Then the Dior highlighters. So yeah, my only new highlighter fave was that LYS Beauty. That's interesting. You guys know I love to oh, and the palette from NARS and the palette from BH Cosmetics. So I guess I was using palettes more than anything else, you know, as opposed to individual highlighters. My Dior Backstage Face and Body Powder No Powder. Guys, this is the business. I'm already starting to get pan. If you watched my recent haul video, you will know I also picked up a different shade of this. This one is in the shade 6N, and I recently acquired 5N into my collection because I just felt like 6N was tinting my makeup a little bit too much. Like, it would make it look a little darker than it was supposed to be. So this is good. The 6N is good for me during the summertime. And if you saw the whole video that I just recently put up, it is an hour long. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead, grab a snack, get comfy, check out the whole video. I have it linked up for you guys in the comments below so you can check it out. But I did pick up the 5N because I just absolutely love this powder. Like, the way it blends everything together. I would go in with my favorite setting spray of the year, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I actually just opened up the travel sprays that I have purchased during the Sephora sale because I finished up a whole bottle of this, and I'm talking about the full-size bottle of this. Absolutely love this. It just gives a nice glow to your skin. So I would go ahead and spray my setting spray, and then to finish everything off, blend everything out and buff it into the skin, make it look nice and seamless, I would go ahead and go in with this powder no powder. I hate saying that, powder no powder powder. I would go in with my Dior powder, and it just makes everything look seamless, blended together, and just beautiful. Absolutely love this. It's not heavy. As a person with dry skin, I don't like too much powders on my face. Even though I tell you I use powder foundations, I do still go in with my finishing powder when I do that. but that's after doing my setting spray and everything. It's a process. But my lip product of the year, I've always, you know, I've continued to use my Fenty Beauty glosses, even the lip shines that I featured in last year's Best of Beauty. Those were favorites. But the lip gloss of choice that I use hell of it. I use so much of it, and I think you can see that through the packaging. This is the Tower 28 a Shine On Lip Jelly, and this one is in the shade Cashew. This is what I have on my lips today. I'm not going to put it on again because it's going to mess up the applicator. But Cashew is just like that nice sheer tint of color, and it's just so comfortable. It's almost like wearing a balm. Like, it feels so emollient and moisturizing on the lips, and this was definitely a go-to for this year. With lip products, I did like the Milani lipsticks that came out earlier this year. But 9 out of 10 times when I was wearing a lip product, especially if I was going somewhere knowing that I had to wear the mask and everything, it was this. And I'm not sure if I had this last year or if I acquired this year. I honestly can't remember. But trust and believe, I wore this out this year. So this is the NYX Shine Now Never Basic, I guess, lipstick. So on one side you have a liquid lipstick with like a doe fit kind of applicator. And guys, I remember somebody had asked me the name of the shade that I had. This doesn't tell me the name, but it says it's Slip Shine number 19. So it's their 19th shade, I guess. But the brown, oh my god. The richness of this brown is everything. But more than just the color, it's the formula of this. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Chanel has products like this as well, where one side is like a liquid lipstick, then you let that dry down and you top it off with the gloss. And when I tell you guys, this does not budge, and all it is a clear gloss. You put it on top. You would think it would kind of mess up the liquid lipstick. No, it locks it in, it seals it in, and your lipstick does not budge. I know you have seen me with like brown many a times throughout the year, and 9 out of 10 times it was definitely the NYX Lip Shine. Shine on, shine loud, shine bright like a diamond. Let me tell you, these are so bomb. Absolutely, hands down, my go-to lip product for 2021. Guys, really quickly, I want to get into like some hair, skin, and body care items really quickly. I just have a couple of top picks for the year, and then we'll go ahead and close out this video. So for hair, I have a brand new one here. This is the Melanin Hair Care Multi-Use Softening Leave-In Conditioner. When I tell you, this was everything for me this year. Like, I would use this as a one and done. Like, here I have 3 products that I want to talk about. So you have heard me so many times talk about the 2 SPFs that I have used throughout throughout the year. So this one here is the Tula Skincare Protect and Glow. When I tell you this was my heavy hitter, this lasts all day for me. I feel like once I apply it, it just gives me like this nice barrier protection, and I absolutely love it. Towards earlier this year, I felt like it was a little bit too greasy and too emollient, so I would go in with a setting powder, one that I'm going to feature in my Worst of Beauty of 2021, so stay tuned to that. But I wanted to kind of use up that setting powder, so I was using it to set this and then apply my makeup, because like again, this one is just hella shiny, but it's a heavy hitter. So I absolutely love this because I'm all about that skincare protection. One that I feel like I don't have to set, this is the one of choice. This is actually my second jar of this. This is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream with a broad spectrum of SPF of 30. Absolutely love this. It's nice and lightweight, doesn't leave like a gray cast on my skin. Blends in really nicely, and my makeup applies really nicely on top of that, so I definitely want to give that a shout out. And then a new favorite serum that I found, which actually I'm like all the way down here, and I probably need to buy another one of these, but this is the Glow Recipe Guava Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum. I know everybody loves that Ulla Henriksen, the one that comes in the blue bottle. It's a liquid. I don't really like that one. I like this serum though. It's nice. I'm not even going to squirt it and show you guys, but it's a thicker consistency. That one is more of a liquid. This is more of a thicker consistency that adds like hydration. It actually feels almost like a moisturizing serum. So this adds nice moisturization to my skin. I actually saw results, like, I don't want to say instantly, but within the first couple of weeks that I used it, I've definitely started seeing results where my skin, like the dark marks on my skin, were definitely fading away. So I definitely want to purchase another bottle of this, and this has been a heavy hitter for my 2021. I think it's been about 3 or 4 months that I have been using this. Maybe 2-3 months that I've been using this, and I've definitely seen results within that time. So I absolutely love this. And then lastly, let's talk about my body care product of the year, which is none other than the Fenty Beauty Butter Drop Whipped Oil Body Cream. Guys, this is so bomb. I've already refilled this and I'm almost on the verge of needing another refill. As a matter of fact, I just got an email from Fenty Beauty saying that they're giving 25% off again. So I just may need to get me another couple of refills. But I do have plenty of body butters. If you saw the haul, you know all about it. But this, hands down, so moisturizing, gives you that. I've been on a beach all day, laid out in the sun, and it's just glistening, and this is everything, guys. I absolutely love this. Even though it is scented, it doesn't mix badly with other scents. If I'm putting on like a perfume or anything like that, I always love my body butters not to interfere with any kind of scents that I'm wearing, and that's one of the main reasons why I absolutely love this. Those oils and everything that just locks in and seals in that moisture in your skin, and it just looks so, makes your skin look so radiant and moisturized, and you know I love that. So guys, I think that's it. I do have some favorite tools and brushes and things, but I think I'm going to do a separate video. It don't have to be like 2021. I think I'm just going to do like my favorite brushes at some point in time in 2022. Yeah, we're going to 2022. So I think I'll save that for later because I think this video is probably long enough as of now. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. That helps me out greatly, and it lets other people know that they should be watching this video as well. I want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to chill with me. I want to wish you all a very happy new year. I hope this year brings you all that your heart desires. You will be seeing more videos from me. Like 2021 was a good year, guys. I'm not even gonna front. Like I feel like even though I was kind of slacking on content, but there was technical difficulties within this last month, I do feel like I pushed out more content than I ever have. Of course, you guys supporting and subscribing and checking out my videos, it just warms my heart. So grateful to have you guys as a part of my KSquad. If you haven't joined the squad already, I would hope that you consider to do so. If you're not sure yet, go ahead, check out some of the videos that I have on the screen for you guys, so you can binge watch me on this playlist, and I would love for you to join the fam. So until next time, y'all, I hope to catch each and every one of you on the next video. Until next time, y'all, stay blessed. Lady up.